Happy Monday, Practice community members. Welcome to this week's Monday message. This week, I'm excited to bring us back to the basics for a second and talk about 5 skills every coach needs to master. And I guarantee these are already skills you have in your toolbox, in your repertoire, and in your capacity. But we often overlook some of these things because we go in search of shinier tools, shinier objects, fancier techniques and ways of showing up with our clients. And I find that if you really come back to the basics, it will create the result your client wants every single time. And it builds on your confidence to create that result through the things you already know how to do. So number one, first and foremost, is active listening. It is far and away the most important skill for you to be continually carving out in your business and in your practice. Listening is your best asset, your best. And I find it's a skill most coaches don't trust nearly enough. Your clients will revel in truly being heard. But in order to be an active listener, you have to relinquish attachments to outcomes. We'll talk about that in skill number 5. What that means is if you're thinking too far ahead, what's the best question? What's the next question? What's the most powerful question? You're actually not listening. If you get lost in a conversation, I guarantee you didn't hear the last thing your client said. Everything your client says, everything you actively listen for as your client is talking to you and sharing with you is a doorway in and of itself. So stop thinking about the best question and ask yourself, what did I just hear that's piqued my interest and curiosity enough to ask for more and get curious from that place? Number 2, powerful questions, which come after, not before, after. Powerful questions or open-ended questions create discovery, uncover roots, explore stories, open the door to curiosity, and also help create new perspectives. We bring in that 30,000-foot perspective. There is no such thing as a bad question. Every question, even if it's a dead end, is feedback. Every question gives you more information to work with. But let's remember to listen before we inquire. Skill number 3 is what I call inside out coaching. A lot of coaches today are practicing what we call outside in coaching, strategy-based coaching that's based on engaging with tools and tricks and tips and techniques to almost force a outcome or result in our life without doing the inner work to integrate that information into our well-being so it feels more organic to move forward and have the changes that we want. So I don't do strategy. I don't do strategy because very few people have a strategy problem. A strategy problem sounds like I don't know how to do something. And that's rarely ever the problem. If we wanted to learn how to do something, we could just go out and get more information. But seeing as we have the most available and free resources of data and information today than any time in the history of the planet, more information is not actually going to yield you a different result. We have to go within. We are hardwired for safety and belonging. Safety first, belonging second, and then growth and expansion third. Why a client is or is not successful accomplishing a goal has nothing to do with needing more linear information. Your client has to see themselves and identify with the goal. They have to trust themselves in the goal. They have to navigate all those sticky emotions and stories and blocks and resistance internally that could be keeping them from navigating that with more ease and joy. So inside out. 4, we need to create brave spaces. For me, a brave space honors behavior over intent. Behavior over intent means I'm going to calibrate on what you do, not what you intend to do. Functional commitments over intellectual commitments. Again, you can tell me till you're blue in the face what you intend to commit to, the actions you intend to take, but what you actually do and the actions you actually take is going to give me way more insight into your process than anything you ever tell me. And challenge over comfort. My job isn't to keep you comfortable. My job is to engage and enact your resiliency and your strengths because I know you can move forward. I know you can make new strides in your life and your work and your purpose. And 5, detachment coaching. Super important that we practice letting go of any attachment to any perceived outcome we think is the best outcome for a client. When you are predetermined what someone is capable of, the outcome needed, or even the quote unquote direct path to get there, you cut possibility off completely. You don't know. You can't possibly know. You might have some ideas, you might have some opportunities or resources, but you don't actually know what's going to yield the outcome the client wants because you're not in their skin, you're not in their body, you're not behind their eyes, you haven't lived their life, you don't have their model of the world. So when we overly attach, what we really are doing is trying to bolster our confidence that we're powerful coaches. We're trying to force feed our clients results so that we feel that we have been worth the price that they paid for admission, and we get them the quote unquote outcome that they've desired. But that requires that we not be in open-ended space where all possibility is potentiality. And we can create through listening and questions and brave spaces and inside out non-attachment the result every single time in a way that's actually going to stick far beyond your being with that client. Why do I bring this in? Because when I work with coaches on building businesses, successful businesses, I'm not just pursuing outside in. I don't want you just to be a strategy of business. I want you to feel congruent in yourself as a business owner. I want you to identify with the power behind running a creative endeavor and being an entrepreneur. My approach, however, to guiding life leadership and business coaches is not for everyone. I do believe your coaching business can bring to life your wild and brave imaginations you have for our world. But it's going to take a heck of a lot more than naming a niche and selling a product, which is why I have my 10-month mentorship, Awaken Your Practice, starting on September 24th. And I want to share a little bit about that in case it's piqued your interest. You've heard about some people who've gone through the program, you've been reading the sales page or the information out there about it, then this is for you. And I am looking for 8 to 10 coaches maximum to join me for 10 months inside of this experience. You can go to awakenyourpractice.com and read all about it, or you can hang out here for another minute or two and I'll share all the details. In months 1 and 2, we spend a significant amount of time in your magic. During Awaken Your Magic, you'll unpack your beliefs, stories, and any and all upper limits, commitments, and your self-worth. So we can get you into the right, not just mindset, but heart set as a business owner. You need trust. You need to know your value system. You need to understand that you have the right storyline and beliefs in play to be successful. We do begin our 10 months together with a 4-day live immersion. Because of the events surrounding COVID, I've decided to make that 4-day kickoff immersion virtual via Zoom so that you don't have to travel or put yourself at risk if that's not something you're comfortable doing. You can still get the benefit of the full program because we're going to start it with an online immersion. In months 3 and 4, we're going to spend an entire 2 months on your message, the pinnacle and pillar of the entire program. During Awaken Your Message, you'll unearth your message, the cornerstone for your entire coaching practice and business. Your message will guide your programs, your coaching style, your pricing, and your marketing. Imagine knowing without a shadow of a doubt what you do, who it's for, and why you do it every single day. Every single day. That's what you're going to unearth in message. In months 5 and 6, we're going to come back to what makes your business successful, which is not how you market, it's how you yield results. So during Awaken Your Mastery, you'll remember the art of great coaching. Anyone can market their services, but delivering on your results is the mark of a successful coach. And the more successful you are at the actual practice of coaching, the less effort you have to put into your business over time. In months 7 and 8, we dive into one of my favorite topics, money. During Awaken Your Money, we're going to do inside out healing of money stories and congruency and belief systems. And we're also going to do outside in with pricing models. I'm going to teach you how to track your numbers. What is a successful margin? How to get you to that 6 figures? Because I can almost guarantee every single one of you wants to make a minimum of $8,000 to $10,000 a month in your business, maybe even more. So let's get started. In months 9 and 10, we wrap up the program with 2 months on market. During Awaken Your Market, you'll create and commit to your ideal market and how to not only captivate them, but create clients through them. You do not need a massive following. You do not need a massive following. You don't even need social media. You need a curated community. When I say curated, if you have a list of 100 people, I can show you how to create success with that list. We'll close our 10 months together with a live in-person 4-day immersion here in the Portland area with masterminds, breakout sessions, hot seats, live coaching, and we end with a wonderful celebratory dinner together as a cohort. So in addition to all of that content, you get 4-day opening and closing immersions, 10 months of live sessions. This is not a recorded program. I run this live. You get co-working sessions at the end of every module, monthly private coaching with me, the Awaken Your Practice journal book, private online group, weekly accountability, a small community of 8 to 10 coaches, and complete and total access to my business. I am looking for just a handful of people, and because this is designed for such a small community, I am going to have a conversation with every single one of you who applies for the program. You can find that application at awakenyourpractice.com/mentorship. We do begin on September 24th. And if you're on the fence, then I recommend joining us for our masterclass, which is tomorrow. There are still spots. It is pay what you can. I'm teaching if I needed a client, this is what I would do. I will share 10 things I would do and 10 things I wouldn't do if I needed a client. And on September 2nd, I am running a free taste of Awaken Your Practice, 5 pillars to a successful heart-centered coaching business. Links are below. Join us. I hope today was helpful. Go back to the basics. You know how to do this. You know how to do this. All right, y'all. I'll see you in the community. Take care. Bye.